All right, best of the day to you, the good people of Lagos, Nigeria. I still remain Salami Abiodun, your host for our laudable program, popularly known as The Politics Today. On this week, we have one of our executive guests for today. Can we need to impress him, sir?
My name is Honorable Adetola Kalon. I'm the recent revenue chairman for Onigbongbo Lcda.
Wow, it's pleased to meet you. Indeed, it has been an incredible moment, back to back, here on our program, popularly known as The Politics Today. As on this week, we are hosting one of our executive guests all the way from Onigbongbo local government in the area of Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
All right, basically, what can you tell us on the political measures put in place within your local government?
I guess if you look at history and what we've been playing at today, a lot of these structures have already been created over time, and which allows that dissemination of information, empowerment, and all the different activities that need to be done to be able to get to the grassroots. In my local government has its own secretariat, and the secretariat has its own, I'll call them managers, more like regional managers. They're actually called ward chairmen, and under those ward chairmen are the ESCOs, which in the last elections, the primaries, those were the delegates for the primaries to be, to have that chosen candidate that has come out. At the secretariat level within the local government, it was basically the ESCOs at that level that were able to conduct that for the chairmanship.
Wow.
So for the councillorship, it was the ward level, and then for the chairmanship, it was the entire Lcda ESCO level.
Wow.
That was able to do that. So these structures have been there, put in place strategically to be able to make sure that information, like I mentioned earlier, would be able to get down to the grassroots. We'll be able to get feedback. It's the people that are choosing their candidates and all of these different things, which is pretty much what that structure is about within the local government area.
Wow. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Wow, thank you so much, sir. Okay, basically about the incoming election. This coming election for the local government within your own Onigbongbo local government. What can you tell us about the preparation so far concerning the incoming election?
Well, I'm sure you've seen recently on the news how many other party members are defecting to APC to see exactly how to follow leadership.
So can you please tell us basically what could really make them to defect from their previous party to the present party, which is APC?
Yeah, it's like every other industry, like every other sport, like every other I'll say vertical. The winners or the winning team are very attractive to others who are in other teams.
Wow.
And so they would always look forward to join that team. And that's exactly what's still playing out in politics at the local government level.
Wow.
Right? So we have been successfully, year on year, every 4 years, have been implementing and winning the different local government elections that have been happening. So I guess the very smart thing for anyone to do is to join the vehicle that is working, that can get you to your destination.
Because the saying that business says if you can beat them, you join.
Yeah, well, it depends on that is limited too, but then yes, in the industry, in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Indeed, it has been an incredible moment with our executive guest for this week, as he has been able to touch most of the areas that you and I need to know more better in order to enlighten us and to make us see the Nigeria of the future in today. We are still at the ongoing program. I will be right back after this little commercial break. Stay tuned.
With affordable and trending sunglasses, photochromic lenses, anti-blue light blocking lens, and more. The office address is located at shop F254, Tejosho Ultramodel Market Plaza, Yaba, Lagos. For more enquiry, please contact Morris and Son Nigeria Enterprises for best and affordable lens.
All right, you're welcome back to our laudable program, popularly known as The Politics Today, as we still have our executive guest for this week. Indeed, it has been an incredible moment because the saying that goes and said, preparation will always meet up with opportunity, and that's the reason why you need to prepare so richly before the opportunity comes to you, because once it's come, you grab it once. Thank you so much. You're welcome once again, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we really want you to just quickly talk a little about the present government, at the federal level.
Right.
What can you talk about the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in person of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What can you talk about? Most especially, I also want you to just go into a little bit expression about the renewed hope agenda, because a whole lot of people, especially the youth, are out there asking questions. What it really means by this renewed hope agenda? Please, we really want you to just put more light into it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first year has been a very bold one, because I know some of the policies and things that have been put in place has not only turned the direction at which the country was going, which was on a downward trend, towards an upward one. It's almost like an airplane. If it's crashing or without control, it definitely will be harder to pull it back up.
Yeah.
Right? If it was steady, it's easy to control. And that's what the renewed hope agenda has been about. I'm sure he has had this renewed hope agenda even while he was governor, because of the exceptions and the things that he did in terms of being one of the only few governors who, let's say few governors, I think it was like the only governor who didn't really get anything from the federal government.
Only governor.
Yeah, at the point in time when he ran. And that gave him vision, that gave him enlightenment, that gave him understanding, gave him direction as to exactly where he wants to move the vehicle called Nigeria to. And you could notice over the years, he never took any other appointments, he never did anything else, but he was quite influential in growing other people. He made sure that people engaged in the same sort of mindset, the same directions, and then made sure that they got into office. And all of this has been put into place. I'm sure he has studied them. He has seen exactly the kind of directions everything needed to go, and the kind of forces or implementation that had to happen. So he's I would say, in the very first year, I would summarize, in terms of scorecard, as his government that has chosen to prioritize a long-term vision as compared to short-term comfort, right? Which we have seen from previous governments, right? I would also say on the economy side, the removal of the subsidy, which we all know it was a very hard policy on every one of us. We all felt it as a nation. But then if you look at what's happening now, you can see that it had hit a point of maximus, right? And the next thing that is going on, like every other price every other price associated entity, there's an up and down, right? And putting these infrastructures into place, strategic partnership with them, Dangote's, fixing and putting in a new appointment, or should I say management for the National Petroleum Company, NNPC, and we can see currently what's happening with price. I could project, saying categorically, from my own knowledge, or should I say my own dissemination of data that has been out there, that we might be buying fuel by at least December like $500.
Wow.
Right? That is a projection. Obviously, our realities are always quite different, because we have human forces, we have different entities that want to make sure that certain things do not work out because it benefits themselves. Right? So I do know that direction is something that is currently being worked on, and I know in the next few months, because it's just like 2 years of his office, for you to change what has been happening for 50 years, just 2 years, it's a really bold step to do such a thing. And we talk about even the energy sector, right? We've seen where, yes, again, there's a lot of blackouts everywhere, yes, but then the policies that have been put in place. Recently, there was the should I say the announcement that any of the discos or gencos who are not discos, because we are the gencos, that are not performing, take their license away. And all of a sudden, we're having light everywhere in Lagos. What's happening? Really? Right. So having that understanding, knowing the kind of policies, the kind of stick and carrots that needs to be put in place for these industries or this verticals to also be functional and optimal, things need to be done. While there's reward, there need to be a lot of punishments, because it will also help deter a lot of personal, should I say, ambition that people have, not towards serving people, but towards their own personal political ambition. And that doesn't help the economy as a whole.
Yes.
Right? So if we have the right things and the right people in place who have concern for the people, then I reckon a whole lot of things or issues that we're facing today in Nigeria would definitely be eliminated. That is a guarantee. We also look at food and agriculture. We've had the issues of insecurity since when? We've had all these different issues, the farmers, the hike in price for logistics.
We've been battling with it before now.
But then, there was a food emergency that he declared at some point. And, they had to put in place certain measures. They found out there were so-called tycoons who would hoard food for the people that are being subsidized already by the government. So, why are you still doing that? So that you can control price? So you can find out that you opened up the border for specific products that, okay, you know what, let's play this game together now, right? So prices of what's happened to rice now? Rice was 100,000 earlier this year now. Come on, how much rice now?
It's really
55,000 now.
Yeah, it's gone.
So you play the game with them. They've been doing this for so long that the kind of wealth they've amassed, for you to fight them as a nation, you need strong, bold leadership. And that's what our president is doing.
Wow.
A lot of people can't see this long-term vision because people are used to instant, right? Instant noodles, instant this,
exactly.
instant everything. And for you to be able to see this, you need to actually sit down, see, review, and check out everything that is happening. What are the side effects? Yes. What are the end games? What is going to happen at the end of maybe X timeline?
Yeah.
It's not, this is half of the period, all right? So let's give another half of the period again, another 2 years. And I know that surely there'll be a trajectory in our economy in general. We're looking at even what? Foreign affairs, right? He has gone all the way for being assertive, even in the ECOWAS. So to be honest, I think the older ones should also take a look at, you know, some directions and really bold steps that we can take as a nation to be able to move Nigeria forward. They've said it. If Nigeria, the sleeping giant, wakes up, the entire globe will feel it.
All right. Basically, I would like to ask you tell us in brief about your achievements. You being a politician, what's your achievement so far, and how have you been able to contribute towards the growth and development of your local government in Onigbongbo?
Now, for the past 15 years, I have been in partnerships with some corporate bodies, Sterling and the rest of them, in impacting children within the public school sector. So I've gone from rehabilitation of toilets, taking it from dilapidated to world-class standard.
Wow.
And all of this is in support of the state. Surely the state can't do it all. So we would have to get partnerships with Lagos Subeb and approvals for us to be able to execute these products.
Definitely.
Now we have done toilet rehabilitation, we have provided raincoats to protect them from the weather, because of the effects of the weather, and the destruction of their property, which is their books and all of that. I'm sure you've witnessed children walking inside the rain while they're going back and forth to school. So we've done that. School uniforms, school bags, school shoes, and all this sort of things. So currently, for the past 8 months, I have been providing school meals for a particular school, JR Public Primary School, that I adopted, and the school attendance, which gives us a very good template to show you how to get kids to school, went from 58 to currently 130. So over 100%.
That's massive.
So a strategic partnership has given me that insight into how to pull corporates together, know exactly how to project ideas and sell ideas before they even come to reality. And 4 years, about some few years ago, I contested as a local government chairman. The children I started with at the time, who were 9 years old, were 23 at that time. And so that took the party membership to like another level. And so we also then ran for this office, and this is within my local government that pay levy, right, to the local government as IGR for us, not to infuse or bully or put pressure or leg down on them, but to find a way to even bring companies together to transact. And that brought in ease of business, the increase of ease of business within the local government. They became more dependent, especially on my office, saying, how do we, what else can we, and when do we, right? Instead of, the norms that is going on out there. Now that also in return gave us 138% growth in IGR, the highest since 2017. Before COVID. Till date. So this was COVID, and we're still making that kind of increase. And this was without people even being complaining. People were willing because of the kind of things that we're doing. Now, some of the activities that caused these things, for example, there's the Onigbongbo Business Support Loan, which is in partnership with LCDF. Yes, and we provide business support loan like it is at a single digit rate, which is 5% per annum. Yeah, the new chairman increased it to $1 million. So any business within Onigbongbo who has paid its levy, even an MSME and SME, once you paid your levy to the local government, you automatically have access to this loan once you have the criteria there.
This is quite impressive.
We've done Onigbongbo Waste to Wealth program, which also has given the people within. We did a pilot in Olushosu, right? And within a year or year and a half, it has generated over 3.2 million into the pockets of people within that area. All sorts of programs and empowerment that my chairman, Honorable Olufunke Rekia Hassan, has currently been implementing. But I brought in the collaboration with different units so that we can then execute programs to the community.
Wow.
Right? And examples like this. So these are the kind of impacts that we've been able to bring out, and they're there. They're records. Anyone can walk into the local government to go and check any of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Indeed, it has been an incredible moment on this week with our executive guests. And saying that goes down, we always say, do not think about what the nation can do for you. Always think about what you can do that the nation will benefit so richly from. And that's the reason why we need to ensure that people coming behind emulate our style of leadership so that Nigeria can be great again. We'll also like to say a big thank you to our official sponsor, which is Morris & Son Nigeria Enterprises. And we'll also have a gift from our sponsor, Morris & Son.
Thank you, Morris & Son.
There into glasses. Different kind of glasses.
Right.
So this is for you, sir. And what would you like to say?
Thank you, Morris & Son. I will definitely try out your product, and I'm sure I'll find it good, and then I'll refer other people to it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, to whom much is given, much is expected, because we'll always be giving to you everything that you need to know on this program. Until we meet, same time, same day, next week Wednesday, I still remain Salami Abiodun, your host for our laudable program popularly known as The Politics Today. Stay tuned. The Politics Today, showing every Wednesday, time 12 p.m. with the host Salami Abiodun. Stay tuned and don't miss it. To you by Micon TV. For more inquiries, please contact